What's up people, it's Wasabi and I'm back with another review. This video is not sponsored, these are my thoughts, personal opinions and experiences with the product. And today we have the BEASTX Mini from wlmouse. And before we get on with the review, here's a quick look at the packaging because that's what you pay for too. Inside you got the mouse and dongle fitted in this foam piece, and oh my gosh, this purple colorway looks absolutely gorgeous. You get a wireless receiver in the shape of a cat, it's very cute. How it works is like every other wireless receiver, you just gotta stick the cable up its butt. Braided USB-C cable, very nice and bendy. A set of glass gates, and it has sizes for both wide and corner placement. Cute set of stickers, and these little triangles here can be used for the ears of the cat dongle. In this envelope, you have another set of skates. These are PTFE skates for both wide and corner placement. An instruction manual, a set of grip tapes for both the sides and the mouse buttons, a nice little pouch, and that's pretty much all that's included inside the box. So before we go any further, I'm gonna manage some expectations here real quick. There are three sizes to the BEASTX. The BEASTX Max, which is their latest and largest size available, a mid-size BEASTX, which is their first, and the BEASTX Mini, which we have here today, and this is the smallest size available. So wlmouse as a brand has become a very popular choice amongst gamers looking for lightweight magnesium mice, and their prices for the quality and tech that you get is pretty reasonable. There is not much to say about the brand really. They sort of came out of nowhere and people were really skeptical about their products, but turned out to be incredibly impressive. So the BEASTX is designed with a right-handed symmetrical shape that is best suited for fingertip grip style due to the mini size. Magnesium body with a lightweight build of only 34 grams, the BEASTX Mini is available for a price of $139, but $149 for some colorways. I would say the BEASTX is one of the better designed magnesium mice with holes available on the market. And just so you know, this purple colorway is a very limited production of only 100 pieces that is available on their website. And I think what's really nice is that it costs no more than the standard color options for this mouse. Other than the color, everything else is pretty much the same, so it's a very nice contrast of black accents with this purple magnesium shell. This mouse has been out in the market for quite some time now, and I was waiting for a colorway that appeals to me because considering the size of this one, a lot of the colors make it look like a plastic toy. The back portion right here kinda looks like a bottle opener. Should I try opening a bottle? Nah, not with this piece. Cutouts on the bottom are good and very on brand with the BEASTX line. Honestly, the design looks really good in person and I can't help but admire it when I walk past my desk. For the design, I think the weakest part that doesn't quite fit in with how good this mouse looks are the prints on the underside of the PCB. It's like you look at the mouse and you feel like, wow, this is some fancy high-tech mouse, and then you flip it over and you see the prints and it's like, the fuck? Considering the price, build quality is really fantastic. There's no creaking, there is a good amount of structural support in places where you would place your fingers, and lots of support to the top side. You can see how they do it, the cutouts, and it's pretty cool. No loose parts, mouse buttons and scroll wheel are fitted in very well, and they have almost zero wobble to them. Bottom of the mouse is made of plastic, but even that feels pretty strong and fitting for its price tag. The mouse is very well done, and it's something you buy and you think to yourself that they could have easily charged much higher for this. So before I go into more detail with the shape and how it feels with my experience, to put things into perspective, my hand size is 17.5 by 9. This mouse is small, like really small. And to give you guys a better perspective of the size, here's how it looks right next to a Superlight 2. You get nice deep curves on mouse buttons 1 and 2, and you will notice that on lots of large to mid-sized mice, you don't always get the full benefit and support of the grooves because they are a lot closer to the tip of the mouse. But with a mouse of this size, the grooves are a lot more noticeable and feels very nice and supportive. Because this mouse is so small, it rarely comes into contact with my palm, but the highest point of the mouse falls a little further back from the middle. The sides taper down towards the bottom of the mouse just a bit and flares out towards the back, but because of the size, these are things I don't really notice, but overall the shape does feel a little skinnier down the middle. I gotta say, the first impression I had when I held this mouse was that it's not gonna feel comfortable for long hours of use, and after using it for quite some time, I still felt the same about it. And it's not because that this is a bad mouse, but purely because that it's not a size that I find comfortable to use for the entire day. I know my preferences for shape and size, and really I got this one just to experience something different. It is much smaller than other mini-sized mice on the market, and it's particularly skinny. The sides with the cutouts feel grippy enough, and you probably do not need to use a grip tape unless you don't enjoy how the cutouts in the sidewalls feel. Now this part is a reference to help people visualize the different grip styles on the BEASTX Mini with reference to my hand size. This mouse is best used with a fingertip grip style because of its size, but I'll run through all three. It is possible to use a claw grip with my hand size, but it does not feel quite right. It makes my hand feel a little cramped, and the scroll wheel feels a little awkward for me when I try to use it with a claw grip. For a palm grip, I would not use a palm grip for a mouse of this size. It's way too small for my hand, but here's what it looks like with a palm grip on the BEASTX Mini. For a fingertip grip, this is a very nice mouse to use. It's small enough to allow you to freely move the mouse around without bumping into the sides of your inner palm. There are better fingertip specific mouse shapes out there, but I like my mouse to look like a mouse, if you know what I mean. It's just a personal preference. Stated weight on the website is 34 plus minus 1 grams, and with my unit that has X-ray pad obsidian donut skates, these are third-party skates, it weighs in at 35.9 grams. You get a decent amount of grip with the finish on the magnesium shell, and what I do enjoy are the side cutouts that lets your fingers dig in for a better hold on the mouse. It's not the most traditional grip experience on the mouse, but you kinda get used to it. But again, if the sides are not a feeling that you enjoy, you can always use the side grip tapes for a more natural feeling experience. The switches I have on here are the TTC black dots. I thought it was Huano transparent blue shell pink dots, but turns out it's an option, and you gotta leave a note to specify if you want Huano switches when you place an order on their website. But anyway, these black dots are very nice and crispy switches, and they are not too light or too heavy and feels fitting for a mouse like this. And no double clicking or slam clicking with my experience so far. I would say one of the more enjoyable mechanical switch experiences I've had in a magnesium mouse. And on the crispy meter, I would put them right about here. The side buttons here are pretty light to press with a nice tactile click to them. I did notice a little bit of wobble in the buttons, but it's nothing that should bother you. Just keep in mind of the size and spacing of the side buttons if you have medium to large hand sizes, because the buttons here are pretty short and sit very close to each other. The scroll wheel feels very tight. They are pretty stiff when you first take it out of the box, but give it some time and it'll smoothen out. The steps on the scroll wheel are distinctive, but it's quite an odd dampened feeling for a lack of a better description. Scroll clicks are pretty quiet and feels very soft to click and easy to press. This scroll wheel is a solid piece of plastic, so no wear and tear with the way it looks, but not as grippy as traditional scroll wheels with rubber threading. So just make sure to wipe it clean before you game. So the BEASTX Mini has the POR 3395 sensor that goes all the way up to 26,000 dpi, and wlmouse has introduced the newer POR 3950 sensor with the latest release of the BEASTX Max. And honestly, I don't feel like I'm losing out because the POR 3395 still is a great performer, and you can find it on pretty much a majority of high-performance gaming mice on the market today. But I would expect them to eventually update their product range with the new sensor in the near future. My experience, absolutely no complaints about the sensor. It's been performing perfectly with mine, and also just to share that with this colorway, it came pre-installed with the latest firmware of the mouse and the dongle, which is nice. Out of the box with the cat dongle that it comes with, you can go all the way up to 8000 Hz wireless polling rate. So far with my experience after trying all the polling rate options, everything seems to be working just fine as it should, but I would recommend not to use the mouse above 2000 Hz because it has a pretty small battery life life and dies out pretty quickly. There is a feature on the software called high speed mode, and for some reason it's only visible when you have the mouse set to 1000 Hz wireless polling rate, and honestly I can't feel the difference with the high speed mode on or off. Because I use my BEASTX Mini mainly for gaming when I feel like it and have another mouse for daily use, I usually just leave my polling rate at 8000 Hz. Connectivity wise, you can use this mouse wirelessly or wired with the included USB-C cable, but just note that for using this mouse wired, it has a maximum polling rate of 1000 Hz. Software is simple to use, you can download it off their website and it comes in a package with 2 applications. One app is used to update the mouse and wireless receiver, and the other is where you can set your DPI, your polling rate, motion sync, remap the buttons as you wish, and even change the lighting of your dongle. The battery life is pretty okay, and there's no official battery life performance details from wlmouse, but from testing the BEASTX Mini with a mix of work and gaming, it manages to do about 3 to 4 days at 1000 Hz with high speed mode off and motion sync off as well. The BEASTX Mini comes with PTFE dot skates on, and in the box you have 2 sets of glass skates and 2 sets of additional PTFE skates. Just to share, when I first used the mouse, I didn't realize there were protective films on the dot skates, and I guess it's because I don't watch reviews until my content is published. It's just something I do to stay focused on my thoughts and opinions when I do a review. So I was testing the glide on all my mouse pads and kept thinking to myself that, dear god, these skates are absolutely disgusting. And only after 24 hours I realized that there are films on the dot skates, and I had such a good laugh at myself for like 5 minutes. But anyway, the dot skates that are fitted on are pretty decent with speedy glides. I do not recommend to use the dot skates on extra soft pads because they sink into the pad way too easily and make the mouse feel very scratchy, but they are okay on soft pads as long as you don't put too much pressure on your mouse. Right now I have Obsidian Donut skates. These are third-party skates from X-Ray Pad, which is something I enjoy using on softer pads. I'll do a review on third-party skates sometime next month for people who are looking to try something different with the mouse that they already have. But anyway, what I find to be really nice is that they include pretty much the 3 main skate shapes that gamers enjoy. You got corner skates, dot skates, and wide skates, and even have both in PTFE and glass types for you to try. It kinda makes this mouse feel like an enthusiast kit considering the number of accessories they include, which I appreciate and I would say makes a great gift for gamers. Now, just because of its small form factor does not mean that it falls behind with its performance, because this has all you would expect from high performance gaming mice in the market today. Personally, this is not a mouse I would main because of my personal preference. Fingertip grip style isn't something I particularly enjoy using for Valorant, but I absolutely loved using this mouse for Overwatch 2. Really, it depends on your preferences because a mouse of this size appeals to someone looking for something more specific. But that aside, this is a fantastic mouse with great performance, modern day tech, and build quality. So in conclusion, what are 3 things I like about this mouse? The accessories that come with the mouse are very nice and makes this feel like a complete package. Also, you can use 8000 Hz out of the box with the dongle that it comes with. The design and build quality is great. The mouse performs perfectly for me. And the last thing is the size. Well, not particularly for me, but what I'm glad to see is that they made a mouse this small so gamers with smaller hand sizes can get their hands on a top-of-the-line mouse with a shape that's closer to the perfect fit. So what are 3 things I feel could be improved with this mouse? There's really not much I can think of that I don't enjoy about this mouse, and I can't fault it for being uncomfortable because this is the mini size, and I already knew beforehand that this would be a size that is meant for someone with smaller hand sizes. But I do have some suggestions. First, I feel that it would be good for the mouse to not have any skates pre-installed so gamers can choose which skates they would like to try out first. The second thing is the packaging could probably have a change in its design because this mouse looks and feels something of a higher caliber. And the third is that it would be cool if they had variations of the design but in different materials. This one has a magnesium body, but perhaps it could have a carbon fiber body option or maybe even a more affordable option made of plastic. Now that they got the weight down with the structure, they can explore different materials, which would be pretty interesting from a consumer's perspective. So final thoughts, what do I think of its value? Well, for its price, you get great quality build, lots of accessories, modern day tech with great performance. This is easily one of the most interesting experiences with a mouse in the first half of the year for me. It's not a size I want to use for an entire day of work or gaming out of personal preference and comfort, but someone with a smaller hand size could easily find this very comfortable. comfortable. I would not recommend the BEASTX in this mini size as your first high-performance gaming mouse or something for new gamers to main unless you have a small hand size or you are absolutely sure that you are comfortable using a fingertip grip style. For me, I already knew my preferences and I got this one to experience something different. To understand more about wlmouse as a brand, the quality of their products, and experience a mouse that could potentially be a great recommendation for gamers with small hand sizes. It's a good mouse and I will say that I am pretty impressed and I can't wait to see what new models they release in the future. For the latest updates on what I'm working on, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Wasabi Fried Rice. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful in any way, please leave a like and subscribe to support the channel, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.